Okay, so not optimal conditions that I'm filming in again, because I've got to deal with the sun coming down over here, and it always comes into my living room at just this particular angle. But I have the Marvel Legends Captain America and Peggy Carter 2-pack, and I'm about to open that up. This is one I've been looking forward to for a while, and there it is. I found it on Amazon for pretty cheap, and I already had gift cards, like I usually do, so I was able to get it for even cheaper. This is one where the box was a little dinged up. You can see there's a tear right there, and well, I guess I might as well look over the box before I open it up. There's Captain America on this side, and he's obviously wearing his sort of thrown together uniform where he looks like Indiana Jones, and there's a nice picture of Peggy on there. My beloved Peggy. Alright, let's see. So the back here says, Captain America, driven to help out his country during World War II, Steve Rogers enlists in the military as part of Project Rebirth. After he impresses the scientist in charge of the project, Steve is injected with super soldier serum, increasing his strength and physique. He becomes the patriotic hero Captain America, fighting for freedom throughout the world. And then it's got it translated into multiple languages. And Peggy says, a British agent with the Strategic Scientific Reserve, Peggy Carter is a capable soldier and strategist. She is part of Project Rebirth, which developed the super soldier serum that was injected into Steve Rogers. When Project Rebirth ends, Peggy continues to assist Steve as he becomes the world's first superhero, Captain America. Well, the first Marvel superhero. And my favorite Marvel superhero. And these are two of my favorite characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Peggy I actually like better in this than I liked her in the comics. I thought they did an even better job with her. So let's go ahead and take these out of the package. And that tray comes out rather easily. And it doesn't look like I have to deal with any of my hated rubber bands or twist ties, so that's a good thing. Let's take out this shield first. And as you can see, this shield is not accurate to the movie because basically they just took the regular Captain America shield and didn't paint it. Like, most Captain America shields that you would have the red and blue painted onto the silver plastic. This is just in silver plastic because it's supposed to represent, the shield before it actually is Captain America's shield, but what makes it inaccurate is it's got the star sculpted on there, which it wouldn't have at this point in the story. I guess you can pretend that this is, right after they put the star on, but right before they painted it, but I don't think we ever saw it in that form on screen. So, the next accessory we have is Tommy gun, and that's a nice looking Tommy gun. It's a very firm plastic. It's not quite as flooby as I'm used to some of these Marvel Legends weapons being. And then I'm going to take the rest of the accessories out just to make sure nothing flies all over the place. We got an automatic pistol and trench knife. That's a nice looking knife. And I'm assuming we're going to have places to put those. This is an alternate Captain America head, an unmasked Steve Rogers head, and I'm guessing the reason that they gave us this alternate head is his hair's a little more matted down in that, and that's the one that's supposed to wear the helmet. I guess that way so we can have a Captain America who's got more bounce to his hair, but at the same time we'll have one that the helmet fits onto properly. Since it is a removable helmet, we're going to give that a look there. You can see the A poking out from underneath the goggles. The goggles are just sculpted onto the helmet, and they're painted with like a metallic blue plastic, which, gives it a little bit more of a feeling of depth to it. But it's an illusion. It's just painted onto the plastic. It looks nice. The only problem is mine has like a slight spot in the corner of that lens where it looks like the paint got kind of glopped up. Not the end of the world, but an unfortunate mar on my figure. Captain America himself. I'm going to take him out. And the classic triangular shield of the Golden Age Captain America. And you can see it's got lots of scuff marks and splotches of mud and stuff like that, which give it a little bit of flavor. It's got a thing there in the middle, which suggests to me that, like, maybe you could put a clip on there or something. I was thinking maybe that might be some way to attach it to his back, but it doesn't look like you can do that, unfortunately. So set that there for now. Captain America has a lot of accessories, and technically none of these go to Peggy, because I know the pistol is supposed to go into this holster. The knife is supposed to go into this sheath. I guess you could give her the Tommy gun and just let him carry the 45, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to go with Cap, too. Peggy should have got her own gun. She should have her own 45. I think that would have been nice. The head sculpt of Chris Evans is, of course, excellent. As, you know, they have been for a really long time. That's uncanny. It's just a tiny little Chris Evans. If you shrunk him, if you shrunk the actual Chris Evans, that's exactly what he would look like. And the joints don't seem too stiff on him yet. I mean, they didn't freeze in the packaging or anything. Some nice details to him with the folds of the fabric and, you know, a kind of a subtle wash to the figures. Not as obnoxious as the washes can be at certain points, but enough that it just enough to bring out some of the details. So let's go ahead and put the knife in his boot. There we go. It fits in there perfectly. And 45 should hopefully fit perfectly into his holster here. Which you have to kind of unbutton. There's a little button on the side, a little peg. Not that peg, like a peg that goes in a hole. And then you can put his gun in his holster. Let's see if I can get the Tommy gun into his hand. Sometimes the plastic's kind of stiff and you want to try to heat it up with a hairdryer or dip it in some warm water before you try to do stuff like this. But in this case, it actually fits in here pretty well. He holds it pretty well. And then we can take the triangular shield and just kind of slide it onto his forearm. You could try to get his hand to grip the second strap, but I usually don't bother. I usually just kind of tuck it in like that. To me, it's just extra work to do that. You know, if you're just going to have him standing on your shelf like this, nobody's going to be able to see his hand anyway. So you might as well just do it like that. Let's bring the rifle, the Tommy gun all the way up. That looks cool. And just for fun, I'm going to try to put the helmet onto this head and see what it looks like. And it actually doesn't look too bad. I think that fits on there pretty well. But let's try it with the head that it's actually made for the helmet. Don't fall. Yeah, it fits on that one slightly better. So that's probably why they did it that way. It doesn't look bad on the first head, but you can tell that it's more made to fit on this head. So this is probably how he's going to wind up being when he stands on my shelf. I think the nose is slightly crooked on that head. It's probably just from being in the packaging. I can probably straighten it out if I dip it in some boiling water for like 30 seconds. That should get the nose to go right back into shape. So Captain America looks awesome. There's another variation of Captain America for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hopefully they'll get around to getting every single version of them done. I'd really like to have the USO uniform and actually haven't gotten around to yet. Pieces of the plastic are actually flying off of the tray. That's how tightly she's packed in here. And her head is, like, really loose. I was kind of hoping that would be the case, because in the package her neck looked kind of giraffe-y. I was kind of hoping maybe it just wasn't popped on all the way, and sure enough, it's not. And once I get her popped on, now it looks perfect. Oh, man. This is a great sculpt. Man, especially from this angle. Like, if you look at her dead on, it's good enough. But if you look at her from a slight angle, like see, you can look at her, yeah, that's Haley Atwell. But if you look at her from this angle, like, man, that's what it really hits you. This is a great likeness. And it looks just like her. And the paint on these figures is really good. It's that kind of almost photoreal paint they've been able to get in these past few years. It's really impressive. And her joints don't seem too gummed up either. She looks awesome. And knee articulation is good. Ankle articulation is good. She does have this plastic skirt, which is, of course, going to hinder articulation. So she's only going to be able to do so much stuff. You're not going to be able to sit her in a chair or anything. I'm going to have to try to get her a gun. But yeah, she looks awesome. Really happy with how she turned out. Like I said, Peggy's one of my favorite characters in the movies. Like, in the comic book, she's a fine character and everything, but they really, like, got the character to the point of perfection in the movies. Like, I don't think too many people were moaning that Cap and Peggy couldn't be together in the comic book. It was just kind of like the way the story went. But in the movie, you just loved her so much, and you loved them both together, and you wanted to see them get back together somehow. And eventually they did, so that's nice. But there's rumors that Chris Evans might come back, and he'd said on Twitter a while back he wasn't really, privy to anything like that, but you never know. You never know what could happen. Personally, I don't want to see that ending for Steve undone. I really like that he got his rest that he deserves. He's given so much for us. Let him, enjoy his retirement. But it would be nice to have, like, maybe like once or twice, just have this sort of thing where, like, he's like, honey, I gotta go out and deal with this thing real quick. And goes and grabs the shield and Mjolnir out of the closet and the time gem that he still has, and gets back to work. So, but he's home in time for supper. Maybe even makes supper, like Captain America stewing up a big pot of chili or something like that. And they look really good together. This is nice. I would like it one day if they could do the USO Captain America costume, and if they could do the just Captain Rogers in his military uniform, just his regular army uniform. That would be nice. You have to do that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm really happy with these. These are great figures. I'd give them a solid 10 out of 10. So that's pretty much it for this episode, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.